What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, I have your top stocks to watch for this trading week. So as always, if you guys do find value in this video, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. And then real quick before hopping into the video, if you guys did not see my SPY and QQQ technical analysis that I posted yesterday on my main channel, definitely make sure you guys watch that. That link will be down in the description. Watch it after you're done with this video. Anyway, so hopping into the top stocks that I'm going to be watching this week, the very first one is going to be Netflix. So Netflix had a nice gap up overnight and it held above this previous high right here at $418.95. If Netflix can continue to hold some strength next week, I'm very interested in it for a crack above 426, or if it continues to hold 419 as support. Now, if it cracks 426, if we zoom out to a higher time frame and we take the all-time highs up here at 701 all the way down to this low point right here, I am very interested in a reject at 431.85. So that is the main setup that I'm going to be watching on Netflix next week. Crack above 426, look for the continuation, rejection at 431.85. Now, if Netflix does get weak and it breaks below 419, I'm going to be looking for the break below 414.75 to then fill the gap all the way down here into 409.50. So going to be watching both ways on Netflix. And again, I am very interested in that reject up there. Now, the second stock that I'm going to be watching this week is going to be Boeing. We discussed Boeing last week. Has a very nice weekly squeeze. If we put on the TTM Squeeze Pro, we can see that Boeing has this orange dot squeeze holding the weekly 21 EMA, broke out of this upper trend line right here. When Boeing gets moving, it is very fun to trade. So with Boeing, I am ideally going to be looking for the continuation next week. If it can break above this bull flag right here, I'm looking for the push back into 220, and then over 220, I'm going to be looking for the continuation. Just ride the momentum to the upside. You can aim for 221.33. But then after that, I feel like Boeing is going to be a lot of fun, especially if this weekly squeeze does fire up. So definitely continue to keep a very close eye on Boeing going into next week. And if you are looking to learn more about my overall day trading and swing trading strategy, how I find bounces, rejects, support and resistance, price targets, Fibonacci, all the indicators I use, and so much more, make sure to check out my 450-page book on Amazon titled The New Age of Technical Analysis. Tons of amazing reviews. Definitely make sure you guys check out the reviews. But if you are interested in learning more about my strategy, make sure to check out my book, The New Age of Technical Analysis, on Amazon. The link will be down in the description. The next stock I'm going to be watching is going to be Tesla. Now with Tesla, rejected right off this Fibonacci retracement right here at 252.3. So if Tesla does pull back next week, I'm going to be looking for the break below 242. If it breaks below there, looking for the gap fill down into 235.23. Maybe it bounces, maybe it doesn't. If it continues to break below there, then we do have a mini gap that it needs to fill from 223 down to like 221.9. But if Tesla breaks above 252.3, I'd like a reject possibly up at 258. And then after that, I don't really have any good rejects. So definitely very interested in this reject. If the market gets weak, I will be looking for Tesla to fill the gaps below. The next stock I'm going to be watching is going to be Nvidia. So with Nvidia, broke above this trend line right here, rejected right off this 50% retracement right here. But ideally would like to see more continuation in Nvidia. If it holds that strength and it's able to break above today's high at 397.11, I'm looking to take it back into 400. After 400, I will be watching 401.88 for a potential reject. And then after that, 405.95 for a potential reject. If it continues to hold strength, I'm looking to take it back up into the highs at this 419.38. Now, because we have CPI, PPI, and FOMC next week, if Nvidia does get very weak and it breaks below 366.35, we're looking to trade the downside on this one. So potential price targets, if that does end up happening, the daily 21 EMA. And then if we take Fibonacci retracements, we can also aim for these areas as well. So again, I'm going to be watching both sides on Nvidia next week. The next stock I'm going to be watching is going to be AMD, which I actually like a little more than Nvidia. With AMD, if it's able to break above today's high at around 127.25, I'm looking for the continuation into 130.79. In the pre-market, it hit 132 over here. So that's going to be another price target. 132.25 was my ideal reject area, but after that, if it is able to clear 132.25, I have nothing else as far as a reject for AMD. So personally for me, I am more interested in upside on AMD next week above 127.25. But again, if the market does get weak, CPI, PPI, and FOMC, and it breaks below 115.8, then I'm going to be looking to trade the gap fill to the downside. So definitely keep a very close eye on AMD. And then the next stock I'm going to be watching is EA. We talked about this last week. Still watching this inverse head and shoulders right here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. So maybe a potential swing trade setting up right here. I still like this daily squeeze. No entry as of right now. Just going to wait for this thing to see if it actually does form shoulder number 2 and start coming back up. If that's the case, I will be looking to enter a swing. And then the final stock that I'm going to be watching, or ETF, is actually going to be the Dow Jones. Now with the Dow Jones, what I like more is this monthly setup. It's holding that monthly 21 EMA as support, as we see here, support, 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 support. Very beautiful monthly squeeze as well. So going into the near future, I'm going to be watching a lot of the Dow names, especially because a lot of them have monthly squeezes as well. But going into the future, if this monthly squeeze were to fire up, we could see a price target potentially at 391.95. But listen, we're trading at 340 right now. That's not going to happen by next week, the following week, next month, not even the following month. It's going to take a while to get up here, but I do like the overall structure on the Dow Jones right now, this monthly squeeze, holding the monthly 21 EMA. So this is something that I'm going to continue to keep my eye on going into the future. There could be some really high probability swing trades setting up. So definitely make sure you guys continue to keep your eye on the Dow Jones. But that is going to wrap up my top stocks to watch for the week. As always, everybody have an amazing rest of your day. Let's run it up this week. Let's make some money. And I'll see you guys in the next video.